We can start, I guess.
Is that official? Is that staying in?
Yes, it is staying in. Actually,
'cause you're so proud of it.
No, I'll have to ask my producer and see what she thinks about it because,
This bit is so lame.
To you. My producer thinks it's great.
I think it's lame to... What is it? Yeah, lame to people that have humility, but people with egos think it's great.
Where's the ego? I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the producer. I can't believe you think so low of her.
E-G-O.
Whatever, man. Anyways.
The villain of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's the villain's name? Ego?
I kind of wanted you to watch these movies, so just forget I said that because that's a spoiler, actually.
Okay.
Whoops.
Well, if you haven't watched a movie that came out, in 2016?
17, I think.
Around about that time, then.
17.
We're sorry for that, I guess.
76.
But anyways. Is Melissa wearing perfume?
Me.
Oh, okay. Anyways. So earlier today, my mom sent, don't look, you can't see it yet. I'm going to reveal it. Earlier today, my mom sent me something that one of her friends had sent her, and I thought it was so wild and crazy because, first of all, I don't remember what I'm about to show you, and, it just happened a really long time ago. So my mom has been best friends with my second grade teacher probably since before I was in the second grade because they both taught at the same school. And I was in her class, of course, and we took a class picture at some point, and she sent it to my mom, who then sent it to me. And, well, here it is. See if you can point me out.
I think I found you instantly.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, yeah. This is second grade?
Yes. I was... 7 years old.
You're kind of funny looking.
Yeah, I don't know why I was making this face and not looking at the camera at all, but yeah. I was always the shortest person in my class, so obviously I was in the front. But I don't know if I'm gonna post this anywhere. So if you're listening to this, sorry, but you're just gonna have to use your imagination.
That's man, this is prime podcast content. Nothing like excluding the audience. Well,
you just gotta use your brain, okay? But the picture itself isn't really the wild part, but it's mostly just everyone in it, because I do remember most of these people, and I kind of have a story for each of them. So the girl standing next to me, her name is, I'm not gonna say any of their last names, but her name is Kanan, and she was from Japan. And I remember she started school with me in kindergarten, and I distinctly remember her not speaking English. And I remember one of our teachers asked her to write her name, and she wrote it, but in Japanese. And the teacher was like, "No, sweetie, in English." But clearly she didn't know English. Obviously she learned after a while. And she stayed with us up until 5th grade, which that was when the school ended. And after that you went to middle school. But after the 5th grade, she went back to Japan. And I don't know if you remember what happened in Japan in 2011, but it was a giant earthquake / tsunami that happened at that time. And I remember seeing that and wondering, was she okay? What part of the country she was from? Because I don't think I knew. The kid standing next to her.
Are you gonna? There's 15
I don't have
here.
everything for all of these children.
Okay, there's 20 kids here.
Maybe. I'm not about to count them all. But the kid standing next to her, that's Tyler. There's not really a story for him, but I remember he wrote to the author of Hank the Cow Dog. I don't know if you remember those books. They were elementary school or grade, or what do you call them? Chapter books. And he's actually still alive. I'm astonished. The man is so old. And that's notable because he actually wrote back to my classmate, and we got to read the letter in class. So I thought that was really cool because I love those books in elementary school. So the girl standing next to him, her name is Jenny, and she went to my church, which was notable because growing up we were Catholic, and I think I knew maybe one other person at my church who also went to school with me. So there's not a lot of Catholics there, I guess. I don't know. The girl standing next to her, I legit forgot her name, which is kind of embarrassing because I went to school with her all the way up until graduation. But I remember we actually started beefing my senior year of high school for like the weirdest reasons. I don't know who this kid is. I am struggling to remember.
I don't think this is fun for the audience or me.
Wow. I'm trying to share memories with you.
Well, see, I think I don't know if it's engaging. Because here, wait. First, let me say, if this is what we're gonna do for like 15 minutes or so,
it's not gonna be 15 minutes. I don't
5
have
minutes or
anything
so.
for most of the people in these top two
Then
rows.
you gotta upload the picture. But then also,
Okay.
Melissa and I have run into this issue where it's like, I'll bust out the old yearbooks. I got them upstairs right now, and like I'll go through it as excited as you are right now, telling Melissa about all the people, all the faces, and Melissa doesn't care for the most part. And so it's just, I think it's just like, you can enjoy it. Good for you. Melissa says the same thing to me.
You can sympathize with me. So surely you know what that feels like.
Doesn't make me care, because Melissa can do the same thing to me. Melissa can be like, "Oh, look at these people," and I'll be like, "Yeah, okay." Like, unless the story's got some juice. If it's like
some of them do.
Just stick go straight to the juice, you know.
Okay, well, I was about to, but you so rudely cut me off.
Well,
so,
see,
I don't know who this kid is. The kid standing next to him, he got arrested for murdering a police officer, I want to say last year.
Nice. See, this is the juice. That's a guy?
Yes, him right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We didn't go to high school together, but...
How did you keep track of this person when you were in second grade for so long?
Joseph, I'm from a very small town.
Yeah.
It's very hard not to keep track of some of these people.
Is it?
Yeah. Especially when you went to high school with most of them. Well... Actually, not most of them. There's really not that many stories. I was just going to go through a few. It's just the first row, most of these people I remember. The second row, only a couple. Third and fourth, legit don't know.
Well, I think as someone who moved around a lot and switched schools a couple times and doesn't have social media, I don't keep track of anybody.
I don't keep track of these people on social media, but, you know, these are just things that I remember. I mean, that was on the news.
You remember that he... killed someone recently?
Because it happened last year.
Okay.
And it was kind of a big deal, actually, because he...
Well, how'd you even know it was the same guy? Because you remember his name?
Well, I know his name, and I remember his face.
What if it was a different guy? Same name?
It wasn't. I don't know what to tell you. And also, when this happened, my second grade teacher, who is, again, my best friend's mom, you know, told my mom about it, and obviously how devastating it is that one of her former students did something like that. But, you know, such is life in small town Alabama. So don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. This kid's name is Landon, and me and him were the best friends in the second grade. Like, we would get in trouble because we would just make each other laugh a lot in class. And we were in the gifted program together. And when we got to like the free play section of like our gifted day, because it was only one day a week, we would always do marble run. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like you build the thing and you put the marble in it and it goes down. And he would always work on the top and I would always work on the bottom, and we always try to make it as tall as possible and as intricate as possible. So I've honestly been wondering about him recently. I've been getting the urge to like look him up just to see what happened to him, because I'm pretty sure all of the white faces you see in this picture went to private school after 5th grade, and everybody else went to the public school. They continued going to the public schools. So, third row, this kid, his name was Antonio, and he died, I want to say, maybe 2 years ago, and I can't remember why. I can't remember if it was like violence related or drug related, but I remember something happened where he ended up falling, hitting his head, and having a seizure, and he ended up dying from that. And I always thought that was kind of...
It was a fun podcast.
I mean, hey, we're reminiscing.
We are, yeah. I remember that kid. I remember I was there when he died. I watched it happen.
Anyway. Let's see. I'm struggling to see. Okay, this girl, her name is Elizabeth. And I wrote a whole story about this that's on my Medium, which you should be reading, listeners. Where she...
They won't.
Anyway, she taunted me while I was in the 5th grade because I was afraid of ghosts. And I remember she ended up getting scolded by my teacher for that. And I was like legitimately like really, really afraid of ghosts. It's a very interesting story, which is why I wrote about it. And her name was Elizabeth. And one thing about her, we had a school assembly one time. And apparently, for a second grader, she could sing quite well. So she got like a singing part along with Jenny, but Jenny couldn't sing as well. And for whatever reason, I remember being confused about this as a kid, but my mom was just like scandalized that this young child could sing really well. And she was like, this is an American Idol. This is a school assembly. I'm like, what? It's not that deep, Mom. But anyways,
That's what you said to her in the second grade. You said, "Mom, chill. Your vibes. You're not passing the vibe check, okay, Mom?"
No, but I remember being confused. So this girl's name is Lindsay, and two things about her. It was probably one of the first sleepovers I've ever been to. It was at her house for, I believe, her birthday. I think I went maybe 2 times in a row, but it was definitely during my second grade year. I remember being super jealous of her because she had a trampoline. And let me tell you, if you had a trampoline, you were neighborhood royalty. But thinking back on it, she actually lived in like a trailer.
You know what costs more than a trampoline?
What?
A pool.
I mean, yeah. But yes. So the hierarchy was trampoline, pool, both. And then, I mean, I didn't really encounter people who had like anything other than that. I mean, either you had a trampoline or a pool. I mean, some people had like basketball hoops, but I don't care about basketball.
Some people have rich grandparents as well.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember, I can't remember what grade this was in, but I remember she was out of school for like a while. And then she came back and she told everyone she got surgery to get her ears pinned back, which I thought was absolutely wild and wacky. I had to be in the 3rd or 4th grade when that happened. She was also in Gifted with Me as well, I believe. And I didn't even know that was like something you could do, but you can tell from this picture they're kind of prominent. They aren't anymore. So, big ups to her. But that's kind of it. There's this kid, his name was Joseph. This kid right here. Wow. And he low-key bullied me when I was in like the 2nd grade. We had a bit of a rivalry. Now I'm carrying the torch. Yeah. So I don't really recognize anyone else in this picture. I recognize them, but I don't think there's anything really notable about them. And then there's me looking off to the side for some reason with like 2 big plaits on my head. So I thought that was, I honestly started tearing up at work when I saw that because I was like, man, all these memories came flooding back to me. Yeah. The fact that one of these people is dead and one of these people is probably in jail for life for ambushing a police officer, which is wild. So
ambushing?
Yes.
Elaborate.
Well, I forgot the police officer's name, but it actually kind of got regional attention because he was like sitting in a car or something. I can't remember the details of it because this happened a while ago, but he was sitting in a car, just kind of minding his own business. And then him and like, I think one other person like ran up on him and just like shot him. And it was actually not far from my house, which is also kind of wild.
So it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't personal. It was like in...
I don't know what the motive was.
In cold blood. Just like, there's a police officer, let's get him.
I really can't remember. But I can look into it. But yeah, that happened. So, yep, a walk down memory lane, It's just, I guess thinking back to that time, like seeing where my life has gone now and like where I was when I was in the 2nd grade, like
the same place as everyone else in the 2nd grade. Well, in the 2nd grade.
But did I imagine all the things that would happen to me? And I always think about these hypotheticals that people do that are like super lame, in my opinion. I was like, if you could go back in time to when you were 9 with all your adult knowledge, would you do it? And my answer is always no. Because like then I would have to experience all the hardships that I went through again. But with the adult knowledge that, like, first of all, the knowledge that they're going to happen. And then, knowing how that's going to like affect my psyche. I don't think I want to go through that.
Well, again. Let's dive into that more. Do you think, I don't know, do you think it would be easier or harder or just the same if you like had to go through it again?
Well, I'd still be bad at math, so.
It's not, oh my God.
That was a joke. I'll give a real answer. I don't know if it would be easier or harder.
Because it's like rereading a book or like rewatching a movie, I feel like.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I've reread books before and like I know what's going to happen in the book, but like it's a book.
Uh-huh.
It's not, me having to watch my family members die all over again.
Well, this is also like, I guess coming from someone who doesn't cry at movies. So,
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But I cry at real life things.
I know. But I think like, I think my comparison maybe works better for me as someone who like does cry during movies. So I'm trying to think of like something that like, is there like a movie or a show or a book or anything for me that's like really traumatic that it's like I wouldn't want to do it again? But I don't know. Well, I mean maybe like I think the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is like The Passion of the Christ. I think that was like a very I don't know, moving movie for me. And so it's like part of me wants to experience that again, because it's like it's been years and years, maybe even a decade or so since I've seen it. And so it's like, how would I react to it again? But also like, I feel like it is a bit of a traumatic and like emotionally taxing movie. So would it be easier the second time around? Is just sort of what I'm thinking about these traumatic events. Yeah.
Is breaking your leg easier when you've already broken it and it's healed?
I think emotional things are different.
I'm trying to compare it.
For you. Yeah.
Well, I've never broken a bone. I would imagine it would hurt a lot the first and the second time. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, well, how are you going back? You're like going back into your kid mind or your kid body with your adult mind?
I guess, because they always say, with all of the knowledge
with your knowledge
you have now, yeah.
I think it would be really like boring, partially, because like, well, also like you say you go back with all the knowledge, and it's more like you go back with like the experience, but I don't think you remember most of. I'm at least I'm speaking for myself of like you don't remember most of what happened at that age. At least I don't.
At age 7?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I really don't. Well, I mean, like, think about not like the big stuff. Well, I mean, I'll say I don't remember hardly anything. It kind of has to be jogged, or I need like a reminder before any memories will come back. But I'm saying like the day to day. You know what I mean? Like you go to school like 5 days a week. You're doing like little baby homework, like imagine having to redo that. I feel like that would be tedious as like an adult mind. Like, because then you'd be this like, if it completely changes who you are, you'd be this like snot-nosed kid, like thinking you're smarter than the teacher, because your teacher might be like 22, and right now we're older than that. And so
my second grade teacher is not 22. She was about as old as my mom.
Okay, but what about like
40-something?
Some of your high school teachers or your third grade teacher? Okay,
my third grade teacher was in her 30s, I believe. The only time I had like a really young teacher was one of my English classes. I can't remember. Okay. In high school.
But I feel like being a adult trapped in a kid's body would probably make you a very annoying kid, Or
I just wouldn't be able to withstand the mental torture and the...
And you kill yourself?
Well, I was going to get there in more flowery language, but
More flowery language?
Yeah.
Should we talk about such things with flowery language?
What's wrong with it?
Nothing necessarily. I think I was just like...
What I was going to say...
You wouldn't want to like glorify it or something.
I wasn't going to glorify it. What I was going to say before you cut me off is that I wouldn't be able to endure all of the mental torture of knowing everything I know now, and at some point I would reach my limit. And how that would manifest, I don't know. I would probably be committed to a mental institution.
We'll see, you get the red shoes, you click your feet, and you're like, there's no place like home. And then you wake up back here alone in your apartment, and then you cry.
Probably. It sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, let's write it right after this. You know what I mean? Why not?
No.
How is it a horror movie?
It's my personal horror movie.
Where like you go and live your kid life again until you can't take it anymore, and then you wake up in your adult life, which you also can't take anymore.
I don't know. I feel
We're
like
getting
I
too
don't know.
deep.
Whatever.
I'm having fun. I mean,
You're having fun. I'm not.
well, I don't know. Make it so that I'm not having fun. Give me a hard question.
I don't know.
I can try to turn the questions back on myself, but I already forgot them.
What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night?
Your neighbors.
Well, no, not exactly. Well, that's not what we were talking about, were we?
But that sounds like a truly horrific scenario to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think maybe I'm not thinking about it too hard. I can
probably not.
Well, maybe.
Also, you are the same person who has told me you've never been to a funeral, so.
I mean, there's other hard things.
I know.
A funeral isn't the end all be all.
I know, but I feel like that's like a what do you call it? A pivotal moment in one's life.
Uh-huh. I think there's
maybe it's just my life. I don't know.
Uh-huh. I mean, no, I mean I guess I would assume it is somewhat of a universal experience. Someone or everyone will probably experience one or more funerals in their lifetime. I just haven't yet.
Yeah, but I think it sticks out as much as it does for me because one of my earliest memories is my grandmother dying of cancer. So I remember she was in a hospice somewhere around here. And she was like, she barely looked like a person anymore, but she was still alive, but like barely clinging on. And I had to be maybe 3 or 4 years old. And obviously I can't exactly grasp it because another one of my earliest memories is I'm in I think it's a church. It's a funeral home, but at the time I think it's a church. And I remember it had red carpets. I remember that specifically. And I'm sitting next to my dad in a pew. And I think there's probably a casket at the front of the room that has my grandmother in it. And I'm looking around and I'm very confused because everyone is crying. And also my mom isn't there for some reason. So everyone's crying. My mom nowhere to be found. And so I look up to my dad and I ask him Dad, why is everyone crying? And he's like, well, grandma just died. And I'm like, oh. And then I start crying and I can't stop. Mm-hmm. And my dad has to carry me out of the room. That's one of my earliest memories. Really? So I think, death has a strange place in my life. So considering that's one of the first things that I remember having that's when I came online, you know? So.
That's when you entered the Matrix?
Exactly.
What is it? I mean, are you still going to therapy?
Yes.
Okay. I
don't even think we've said it on the podcast, but therapy reveal.
You can edit that out. The producer can determine if it needs to be edited. But what is it? Well, I mean, therapy reveal. I have an appointment 2 Wednesdays from now. So there you go.
Congratulations.
Anyway, but. Well, I think. Well, it seems like, and I'm stuttering. It seems like I like this exercise because I don't remember and want to. You seem to not like this exercise because
I can't stop
very
remembering.
much. Well, I was gonna say you're very much. It seems like only remembering the bad stuff. What about
I mean, I remember the good stuff too.
Well, I'm just thinking of like. I don't know. It seems like you really don't want to relive it because of the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like I want to relive it because I don't remember. And I feel like I am thinking more of the good stuff than the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel
the knowledge that the bad stuff will be there waiting for you. But
what if it's you don't, I'm trying to think. What if you don't what if you don't remember the exact day of some of the bad stuff and so you're just living your life again,
and
going
then it
to
hits
school
me unawares?
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Well, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of less bad things of oh man, there was what's less bad stuff? I don't know, days I got in trouble or days kids were really mean to me. But then I feel like the stuff that scares me more is the stuff I don't remember or the stuff that would really only like maybe didn't bother me as a kid, but like would really bother me in hindsight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That I think would be really tough. Yeah, potentially. Like what keeps you up at night?
Anyway.
What keeps me up at night? Smile still all these months from now.
Really?
Yep.
Are you serious?
No, but now tonight it will probably. I'll be turning out the lights and I'll be thinking of her just like sitting in a dark corner, smiling.
Joseph, that movie was unbelievably corny.
I mean, tomato.
I can't believe that got you.
Tomato.
It was corny almost to the point of being funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You go to like YouTube reviews. A lot of the comments, people are like, "Yo, this movie's real scary."
Because they're babies.
Okay, I'm a baby. Deal with it.
Anyway.
Also, what is another thing keeping me up at night? Not really, but maybe a little.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Melissa went to go see the movie Missing recently.
Is that the iPhone?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I will see. Man, you weren't supposed to answer. I was supposed to say that's the one before you said anything. It would have been real funny. The audience would have died of laughter. We would have had no audience left because they would be dead. We would attend each and every one of their funerals.
It'll be your first time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, Missing. It's not like. Say what you said again. The iPhone one. Yeah, I don't know if it's that.
The iMessage.
Yeah, that's true. That is on the poster, but no, that's anyway. It's another movie where it's like takes place entirely on a computer screen. Yeah, where like
Hypnospace Outlaw. Have you heard of that game?
No.
Okay.
But daughter, her mom leaves. Her mom goes missing. She's looking for her. I don't want to say anything else because that's
on the internet apparently.
Huh?
I said on the internet, apparently.
Well, it's not like on the internet, but it's like whenever they do need like to show actors or like have not necessarily exposition, but it's like, you use like FaceTime or they use like house security cameras to like show outside of the house. Like I think it is very clever and creative and cool.
Well, I think it was cool when they did it the first time.
For searching?
Whatever the first one was.
Have you seen it?
No, but I've heard of it, obviously.
So why can't they do it twice?
Because the novelty is worn off.
You haven't seen either of them.
Okay. But I know of the novelty of them. It's like you can't do Blair Witch twice, right? The first time you get everybody, then it's
clearly
great.
You can, because Paranormal Activity made a shit ton of money.
I mean, yeah, but did people think it was real?
Does that matter?
That was kind of the point allure of Blair Witch, though. People thought it was real. It was marketed as if it had like actually happened.
Yeah.
Like it was found footage. Like we found this footage.
Yeah.
And now we're showing it to you.
I think it's different time frames. Blair Witch coming out, I think, at the end of the 90s. But then Paranormal Activity coming out in the internet age where it's like people aren't going to fall for that anymore. Now, is that part of the appeal of searching or missing?
Well, I think the novelty of it is like, oh, it's computer.
Oh, right. Man, you really nailed it. You have captured the zeitgeist. I think you're totally right. And yet, actually, now that I think about it, this movie sucks. I hate it. Actually, don't go watch it.
But you understand
audience.
What I'm saying, right?
No, because I think you need to say more than computer.
Well, like it's unconventional filmmaking.
Yeah.
In that specific way. That's the novelty of it.
So it has to stay unconventional to...
Not that it has to stay unconventional. It just has, a shelf life.
I think a shelf life.
Yeah.
Okay, here, wait. I don't think the entire point, or what is it? It's not the selling point that it's on computer. It's like it's its gimmick. It's to kind of get people like ever so slightly interested and like, oh, that sounds kind of unique. But it's like if the gimmick got seats and it's like, oh, this is actually a really good movie, which by the way, I haven't seen Searching. I've only seen Missing. Then it proves itself. You no longer need the gimmick. Now it's just its own new thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, It hasn't lost.
Well, okay, you just said this is the first one you've seen of this little duo. So,
franchise.
Yeah, whatever. So, the novelty isn't lost on you because you're still new to it. This is your first time experiencing
But I'm not seeing it because of that. That's not that's not the whole reason I'm seeing it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's still a good story. It's just like it's in a unique package. But it's like, even if it wasn't in that package, that's not why I'm going to see it, Yeah.
So why did you see it?
I heard it was good. The reviewers I follow on YouTube
From
were
IGN?
like, well, I don't think IGN reviewed it. I think it was it was just Chris Stuckman, actually. You know who that is?
Source.
Okay, I trust my sources. What's wrong with that?
Because you dunk on me sometimes for seeing things on Twitter and be like, oh, you saw it on Twitter?
Who... You saw the Banshees of Inisherin because of Twitter?
No, I think I saw a trailer for it before a movie.
So what movie have I dunked on you for seeing because Twitter recommended it?
Not specifically movies, just like anything.
Okay, but we're talking about movies and recommendations right now.
Okay.
That's not, yeah.
Anyway.
Get out of here. Chris Stuckman. Generally, my tastes align with him. I heard it was good. I hadn't seen Searching. But I really liked it. But I guess I was also, this kind of ties back into like trauma and things like that. Very, that if you know oh man, give me a second. Okay. I don't like, frick. Okay. I don't want to spoil the movie, but there is reasons in the movie that it hit close to home for me. That's all I'll say. You know what I mean? But I don't want to spoil it, but maybe I just did.
I have zero context.
If you think about my life and I don't know, things like that. Anyway, so all that to say, I think that emotional connection and that kind of
now I gotta look up a synopsis.
No, don't spoil it.
I just need to know for my own
You're going to spoil it for yourself?
I don't want to see it.
Why?
I just don't want to.
Okay, because you're lame. Because Twitter didn't recommend it.
No, because the novelty wore off with the first one.
Well, the first one that you didn't see.
Exactly.
Because the novelty didn't wear off for me when I haven't seen the first one. When you haven't seen the first one either. What the frick are you talking about, Aaron? Seriously.
Screen Life, is that what it's called?
Now, the synopsis isn't going to make sense.
That was the first one.
I mean, does it matter? Maybe. When this becomes its own genre.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
Not whatever you said.
Searching.
Yeah. Because this one's from 2014. Anyways.
Yeah.
And you keep talking.
Uh-huh. I will keep talking and she will keep not listening.
I am listening.
Yeah.
I'm just also not talking.
Yeah. Maybe just not caring, She's like, yeah, movie sucks. I'm not going to see it. Let me look up the synopsis real quick. If you just go to the last paragraph, it's not going to make sense.
Okay.
Because this isn't exactly a spoiler, but there's a lot of plot twists in the movie. Every
it's too long. I'm not reading it.
Exactly. That's what I thought. So there you go. Now you have to see it. Yay.
Or I could just not.
I'm buying it on Blu-ray. You're coming over. You're coming over and I will hold you hostage. Clockwork Orange style. Your eyes will be, I don't even know, clawed open. How do they do it? Clamped open? Little clamps?
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but
it spreads your eyelids.
I'll find it and I'll use that on you, so you have to watch Missing. Okay. Anyway, movie was really good, but felt like it might keep me up at night because it was very intense and I had my own personal connection to it that made me relate to it and made it all the more scary. So it keeps you up at night.
The fact that we haven't done the intro yet and it's been 33 minutes.
Well, see, that's okay because that just makes us cool. Because who else is cool?
Who?
Troy Baker.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, but I'm failing to see the connection.
Okay, well, wait. Troy Baker. You know who else is cool on top of Troy Baker? Alana Pierce.
Okay.
And then there's also some other cool people. Austin Wintory and Mike Bithell.
Don't know who that is.
Exactly. See, because you're lame. But I have enough coolness for the both of us. Okay.
Are you gonna explain the connection between?
So all 4 of those people I listed have a podcast, and I listen
Okay.
to this podcast, and it's a decent podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And the most recent episode I listened to, which is like very old, they did the intro as the outro, basically, because they like us, because I'm cool, they are cool.
Okay. So you want to bite their style, which
Really,
is a very
like,
uncool thing.
no, they're. I'm just saying we're great minds think alike. That's all I'm saying. So they
Okay, so you do want to bite their
ramble,
style.
they ramble,
Got it.
we ramble.
Style biting.
Hey, I mean, if I'm biting the style, it's still that's just more for me, less for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Whatever. Just let me do the intro. God.
I mean, you gotta bite some eventually, because like you got nothing right now, honestly.
Okay.
So anyway, what is it? They like to ramble.
You're still going?
Yeah, I know, because you keep interrupting. They like to ramble.
Because I'm trying to do the intro.
They like to ramble. And they were like, oh, we really need to do the intro. And then basically the podcast was an hour long, and they did the intro at like 59 minutes. And basically we're like, all right, this is this show, and we'll see you next week. So yeah, it's all that to say they're cool people.
And you want to bite their style.
I'm a cool people, and so if we happen to do
Bite
the
their
same
style.
thing accidentally,
It feels like it's on purpose.
Ain't no harm to me.
Because you're like actively preventing me from.
yeah, but like, I mean, so anyway, so what keeps me up at night?
Joseph.
What is it?
Anyway, this is the 35th episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. I am Arin, and you are annoying.
I am not Troy Baker.
Obviously. Anyway.
Maybe I am, though. This is a voice episode.
They're all voice episodes.
I actually hired Troy Baker to play me this episode. He spent a couple weeks learning my speech patterns. He did not come cheap. I am actually in serious debt now. But yeah, so he is playing me for this episode. Yeah. I wrote a script and everything. He's reading off of it right now. I wrote it in the third person. He's reading it, I guess, in the first person, deep in character. He is a method actor. Anyway, going back to childhood trauma.
You didn't let me answer.
What?
What keeps me up at night?
I mean, I thought you asked me that question because you had basically already said without being asked and wanted to move on.
Oh, I do want to move on though.
Okay. So anyway, what keeps me up at night? Well, I would say,
Joseph, you already answered.
You were talking about like, I'll just say that I feel like I don't remember a lot of my childhood, and it doesn't necessarily keep me up at night, but it's like, repressed memories, trauma, things like that. If I don't remember any of it, that sounds a little rough to me. Yeah.
I don't know if this has anything to do with it, and we have got to move on. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I did journal a lot when I was a kid. Like, I actually started in the 2nd grade because my mom got me and my brother matching like little pink and blue notebooks, and my brother just scribbled in his, and I kept a journal because I don't know. I still have it too. It's back home.
Only the 2nd grade one?
No, I have that one, the one from 4th grade, 5th grade. I have one from high school. And I kept a journal very consistently all throughout college. And that's like 3 notebooks.
And what about outside of college?
Well, I'm trying to start up now again. So
I started journaling in sophomore year of college, and I did it very consistently that whole year. And then since then, it's kind of like dwindled and dwindled, where it's like back in like sophomore year of college, I would journal like once a day. Now I journal like once a month. Yeah. I think I want to do it more, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe I don't have as much college angst to get out,
Because I sure did have a lot. Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Did? Past tense?
I'm not in college anymore.
Oh, so it's just regular angst?
Yes. Adult angst.
Adult angst.
Yeah.
A dangst.
Yeah, it wasn't at the behest of my therapist, but my therapist did suggest it, and I was like, oh, I'm already doing that. Ahead of the game.
Did you,
What? What are you about to ask?
Did you cry when Paul Walker died?
No.
Really?
I didn't have any emotional connection to the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even cry when what's his name? John Dunsworth died.
Who's that?
He's Mr. Leahy in Trailer Park Boys. He died in 2018. I was very upset about it, but I did not cry.
Would you have cried if you had went to his funeral?
Probably, because I really don't like funerals.
Yeah. Just 'cause you wouldn't cry because it's like, oh my God, he's gone. You'd just be like, man, I really don't want to be here.
Basically, yes. Next question.
So what if like epic prank? Okay, epic prank idea.
Okay.
What if I die?
That's such an epic prank.
And then like but then you're like crying at my funeral, right? And then
I don't want to think about these things.
and then wait. And then basically I pre-recorded a video making fun of you for crying at my funeral. I'm like, what a loser, dude. Freaking.
Honestly, if you did that, that would kind of be a slay. Not gonna lie, it would honestly be really funny.
Yeah.
Especially if I didn't know you did it.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Let me be right back real quick.
Are you planning on dying soon?
I mean, I can just have it ready for, in case I need to.
You write it into your will. Have this played at my funeral.
Yeah.
Make sure Aaron's there.
Melissa's crying too, but like maybe she's cracking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. What is it? Why did I ask that? Oh, okay, because like Paul Walker. So
is he coming back from that next Fast movie? Fast 10?
Well, what is it? The trailer for Fast. I don't know if it's Fast 10 or Fast X, but the next Fast and the Furious movie, the trailer's coming out. I guess I assume during the Super Bowl or maybe a day before. It's one of these days. Because they've apparently been releasing a trailer for like all the previous movies counting up to this one. And I've never seen any of them. But these trailers, they're only like a minute long, but they're kind of hype. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm missing out. I want to see these movies. You know what I mean? Like they look so American in the in the best and worst way possible at the same time. And so I'm like, man, I feel like I'm missing part of the culture, you know, right now. And so anyway,
you can watch too. Tokyo Drift was pretty good.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the second one then?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay, it was definitely Tokyo Drift then.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift is the third one still.
Okay.
But anyway, the trailer's kind of hype. Makes me want to see it. I'm curious about the 10th one. But then I also asked that because I've never seen any of them. But like one day I was like home alone, and I don't remember why. Maybe I was doing some chores and wanted to listen to some music.
You listen to See You Again?
Yeah, I listened to that with like the music video with like the snippets from the movie.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but that music video is so corny.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Maybe okay. Well, I mean, this will take a.
It's just like the slow motion with the.
What's wrong with that? It's a tribute.
I know, but it feels corny to me. I'm sorry.
I mean, maybe. I mean, well, here it's gonna get cornier. So like, well,
did you cry?
So here, wait. So like, I guess I haven't seen any of the movies. Don't really have like any emotional connection to like Paul Walker at all. So maybe I'm just like Logic, I'm a corny dude, because it really, the music video and the song like really moved me. And so I just started like weeping, like really crying like hard. Cause I was like, oh man, this is so sad. Like,
maybe it's because that song got played to death when it first came out, like on the radio and stuff. And I was just like, ugh, not this again, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, no, yeah. So like, I haven't seen the movies. I've seen that music video. Made me cry very hard. I was very sad for a time. But yeah. Anyway, the trailers for the previous movies kind of hype, There's a tank. There's a submarine. They kind of spoil the movies too, but that's fine. I'm not watching it.
There's any plot to spoil.
No, yeah. Fast and the Furious is like, it's like the
It used to be about racing.
Shakespearean. It is now. It's about family. What's better than that?
Anyway.
It was
One of my fake husbands is going to be in the new one, but that still won't get
Jason
me to watch
Momoa?
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's been in some stinkers.
Yeah.
Have I told you about My Girl?
Yeah, I don't want you to. I think I saw your Letterboxd review.
Yeah, it was
Which do you just not watch movies anymore? Because you don't upload to Letterboxd, period.
I don't know. Let's see. The other day I watched Emma. I just didn't log it because then it'd just be another rewatch. I didn't have anything new to say. And
I mean, you could just log it just for the, I guess,
I like giving reviews.
Okay.
And then let's see. I feel like this was either last week or like 2 weeks ago.
So no review means no log.
Yes,
I still log it whether I review it or not. Though I feel like for the most part I review. I've reviewed like 99% of the things I've logged.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks or 1 or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. I watched In Bruges with Eyebrows and the old guy. I can't remember their names.
Eyebrows and the old guy. My two favorite actors.
But I watched that, but I watched it at night because it's like 2 hours long and I fell asleep on it and I didn't finish it. So, of course, I couldn't, log it because I didn't finish it. So, I'm trying to think of anything else that I saw. Yeah, I'm not watching movies these days. There's not really anything in the theaters that I want to see. I do kind of want to see Knock at the Cabin out of sheer curiosity.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Really?
I feel like given the movies that I've taken you to see that you have absolutely hated, I guess for example, Smile, the Black Phone.
I didn't like that one. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. You strike me as an M. Night Shyamalan hater. You're like, yeah, his movies are trash. But then again, maybe you just haven't seen them.
Well, I've seen Unbreakable.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think.
It's probably the only good ones.
The only good one is
I don't know.
Hot take: M. Night Shyamalan's only good movie is Unbreakable.
What are his other movies then?
Signs, Split, Glass, The Sixth Sense.
Okay,
that is him.
I haven't seen it still.
The Last Airbender.
We're not going to talk about her.
You haven't even seen the show?
No, but I know it's.
Oh my god!
Universally disliked.
That's the Twitter in you. You're like.
No, that's not the Twitter in me. That's the Reddit in me, which is honestly the worst side. Yes.
I don't know. I find that hard
because I only ever see that movie discussed on Reddit.
Yeah. Anyway, Old. I'm not list. I'm just
Old
listing
is like
his.
a meme movie.
I'm just listing his movies, not necessarily the ones I think good. I think are good, just so you know. The Happening. Lady in the Water, The Village.
Wait, what's The Village? The new poster.
It has Bryce Dallas Howard in it, and I think Joaquin Phoenix maybe.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Yep. Oh, and Sigourney Weaver. Wow. Well, literally, like almost all of his movies, I think, except for The Sixth Sense, are all like very hit or miss, love it or hate it. Like it's either like an 8 out of 10 or like a 4 out of 10, depending on who you ask. Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, okay. You want to see his whole IMDb? You want me to list all of them? Wait. Oh my god. I listed most of them.
After Earth was M. Night Shyamalan?
Yep.
God, okay. Yep. Never seen him.
Well, I think I like to think of myself as a big fan, but maybe I'm not, because I really only kind of like Signs. I really like Unbreakable. I really like Split. Glass is ass. Old is not good. And that's about it. I think that's what I've seen.
But I think I've told you before that I'm very reluctant to start watching movies because my time is precious these days.
Clearly. What are you spending it on?
Mostly just YouTube.
That's so precious.
Yeah, I know, but I was home. I can't even remember what day this was, but I don't know if I worked that day or what. Probably not. I can't even remember, but I was at home and I was sitting at my desk and I realized I don't know what to do with my time anymore, which is kind of depressing.
What you enjoy?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know.
She's like, but I don't enjoy anything anymore.
Well, that's...
It's like, dear God, Arin, go to a psychiatrist.
I am.
Take
Joseph.
Antidepressants.
I'm not depressed. Probably. I'm not a psychiatrist, though. But anyways, I mean, I sort of started playing video games again. I mean, I really started during the Martin Luther King 3-day weekend with Fez and Half-Life 2, and I started playing Stardew Valley again recently. So that's fun. But I don't know.
Good for you. And your battle against depression.
Okay. I'm gonna buy some books.
Yeah? What books?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Also, here,
One of
wait.
them isn't out yet.
I want to put... No, I won't do that.
What were you about to say?
It doesn't have to do with you.
Okay.
EGO.
What did I even say?
I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little antagonistic. I think
you are.
Okay, here, wait. Maybe it was a joke, but I think I was gonna say something about someone else, but I was like, maybe that'll be too rude for the podcast. But I can tell you like off the podcast.
Okay.
But then you were like, what were you gonna say? And I was like, it wasn't about you. And he was like, then you're like, oh, I don't care then. So I was
didn't
like,
even say that.
yeah, I know, but that's the way I interpreted it or heard it. So I thought it was kind of funny.
Correctly.
Of course, my mistake.
Anyways,
ma'am.
The books that I would purchase would be My Last Innocent Year, which comes out, I want to say on the 14th or whenever next week.
So these aren't even out yet? You don't even know if they're good?
Well, I want to read new books.
Yeah? What's wrong with old books?
I mean, nothing, but I was looking for I was specifically looking for new nonfiction releases because I want to read some more nonfiction. And this one came up on just like a general list and it's fiction. But, I read the synopsis and it's like 5 other books that I've read before. So I thought, it would be a safe read. I would definitely like it. And the other one is called Her Pretty Face. It's a bit longer than I typically go for. In that it's 368 pages, which is,
beefy.
Way over my limit. And it came out in 2019.
Aaron's like, I only read books that are 100 pages or less, and 50 of those pages need to be pictures.
I have been trying to adhere to an under 300 pages rule because I just can't do long books anymore. Again, my time is precious.
It's because the vibes are off, right?
No.
The book vibes, they're not syncing up.
Anyway, there have been some exceptions to this rule. Most notably, the nonfiction book Unmask Alice, which is a fantastic read. I encourage everyone to go read it. It's over 300 pages, but you'll be through it like that. I stayed up until like 11 at night reading it so I could finish it. And I got through like 1/3 of the book.
What's it about?
So, have you heard of the book Go Ask Alice?
No.
Well, it's a book that was purported to be a true story about a girl who starts taking LSD and basically her life falls apart. It's like a cautionary tale.
Pretty sure there's a song called Go Ask Alice.
There is. It was in the trailer of...
Stranger Things?
No. Of...
Matrix?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where the title originated from, actually.
The song?
Yes.
Okay.
So the song came first and then the book. And so basically it's about how this woman, Beatrice Sparks, built an empire off of lies and kind of also ruined a family's life in the process because of one of her other books that was purported to be true, which was heavily plagiarized from a real person's journals. And eventually people read the book, found out who it was actually about. Sorry. So this is a book about a book? Yeah, well, it's a book about 2 books specifically, Go Ask Alice and Jade's Journal, but it's also about the satanic panic in like the 80s and 90s and kind of the resurgence of it, but the origins of it. And also it's about Beatrice Sparks, the author, who made up these stories because they're not true stories. And I was kind of fascinated by it because one time when I was in high school, my mom took me to a bookstore. It was a Barnes & Noble, and this was a rare occurrence because there are no bookstores in my hometown. There are now. There weren't when I was growing up. And it was kind of dangerous for my mom because she knew if I went in there, I was going to be buying some things and she would have to pay for them, which is why we never went.
She had to pay for them? Were you spoiled?
No, I wasn't spoiled. That's why she never took me. So she wouldn't have to buy me a bunch of books.
But why would she have to? Why can't she just like take you to the store and then say, no, Aaron, I'm not buying anything for you?
Well, then why would she take me to the store?
I don't, just to make you somewhat happy? Just to look at things?
My mom would not do that.
Mm-hmm.
which is why I never set foot in a Toys R Us.
Sounds like you were a tyrant.
No, I
Said
like
my mom
books.
would
I
not
wanted
take me
books.
somewhere without buying me something. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's not necessarily true, but whatever. We were in a Barnes and Noble, and I saw the book Go Ask Alice, and it was like by Anonymous, and I was like, "Oh, what's this about?" And I ended up reading. I want to say like the first the first like 30 to 40 pages in the store. It's not a very long book at all, and I think I get. Well, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I get to the part where she like has a bad trip for the first time. The Alice in the book.
So are we talking about Go Ask Alice? Or are we talking about
Go Ask Alice because that came out in like.
I thought we were talking about a book about Go Ask Alice.
I know. I'm saying I got interested in that book about Go Ask Alice because I had read it and I thought it was true at the time because it said by Anonymous. Ooh, scandalous. Eventually, I did find out that it wasn't real. And then this book was coming out. It came out last year and I bought it on release. And I read it and it was like a very fascinating story. So I want people to read it. And
that does sound really interesting. Too bad you have inspired me to not read any books over 300 pages. As soon as we're done recording, I'm throwing all of my Harry Potter books away because they're all over 300 pages.
Okay, anyways. It's broken up into like a bunch of chapters, and sometimes the chapters are only like 1 or 2 pages. So like you'll find yourself reading through it a lot. And it's also really well written. That's another thing. Because I've read some nonfiction where it was written by people who think, well, I don't know. I was given this book, right? You weren't there because we didn't take that class together. But one of my English classes in college, I can't remember which one, but I'm going to oof out his name because I feel like it, but I took, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. It was really weird. But at the end of the semester, he decided to gift me 2 books. One of them was like a book of like 500 film directors. And the other one was a book whose name I cannot remember, but it was about the all-black regiment during World War II that got like massacred, which is a really interesting story if you read about it. But the book is written terribly. Oh my God, it's one of the worst books I've ever read. And I think he meant well when he gifted me that book. Because again, it's a very interesting story, but wow, I've never read a worse book in my life.
What made it terrible?
Okay, so it's a nonfiction book, right? But for whatever reason, these authors decided that instead of just presenting the information in like a documentary way, they started to insert dialogue where there like was none, and the dialogue wasn't even good, right? And I don't know, it was the way it was written was like really bad. So yeah, I can't remember the name of the book to dissuade people from reading it, but it was just that bad. But yeah, I have read some really good nonfiction though. For example, the House of Gucci book is really good. However, I think I got by false advertising with that because I was expecting it to be just about the murder of Maurizio, but it ends up being about like the entire history of the Gucci company up till like 2002, which happens to include Maurizio's murder. So all of that was really interesting. I just wanted to get to the good stuff. And it takes a really long time to get to
the murder.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's advertised as like, ooh, the scandal behind the murder and the famous family and the luxury fashion brand, which, you know, kind of false advertising. Don't exactly like that.
They clickbaited you.
Exactly. I got clickbaited by a book, which is really unfortunate. And I still haven't finished it. And I think I'm going to donate it because I don't want to finish it.
Where are you going to donate it?
Goodwill. Yeah. So Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything to say?
How long have you been recording?
Oh my God. 59 minutes.
I guess I do have something to say then. I mean, yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up. Yeah.
That's it.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. What are your feelings about it?
What are my feelings?
Thoughts, feelings,
it's
comments?
A day. I think I feel like I don't really like celebrate a lot of days. I feel like I'm not like a very like festive person, but I think that
And
just
yet you
comes
still have this Christmas tree up.
exactly.
How about that?
But I think that's just more of like a family thing. Or I don't know, it just didn't seem like we like celebrated or got in the spirit of, you know, whatever holiday, whether Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's like, of course we participated. I just feel like it was almost more like we were obligated to than like we enjoyed it or made like a big deal or fun out of it. But it's not to say I have anything against them. I just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of go where it's like, oh yeah, that's Christmas coming up. I think the only things I like.
Actually, it's gonna be coming out after Valentine's Day. I just realized.
Yeah. While we record this, it's plot twist. We record this in
a
advance.
week in advance.
Yeah. But I think like the holidays sort of that I care about, I feel like are like birthdays. I care about my birthday and I care about, I guess, Melissa's birthday.
Nobody else's.
Yeah.
Not Jesus' birthday.
Jesus' birthday.
You don't care about him? Wow.
I mean, I enjoy Christmas because I like getting gifts. Who doesn't? But what is it? Is there anything else I like?
But what about the gift of Jesus Christ to the Virgin Mary? Your silence is deafening.
Yeah. I mean, sure, why not? Sure. But what is it? I care about birthdays. Valentine's Day, sure. It's whatever. Well, Melissa and I have plans. We'll go out to eat. We'll see a movie.
On Valentine's Day?
Yeah, why not?
It's the worst time to do it.
Is
Everybody's
it?
going to be doing it.
And
it's going to be crowded.
Depends on the restaurant and the time.
This is true.
Yeah. But
Want to Taco Bell on at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Nobody will be there. You have the whole place to yourself. Very romantic.
Yeah. There'll be, I mean, there might...
there might be what? Crackheads?
I was going to be like, there might be a homeless person like in a corner or in the bathroom or something. But other than that, as long as he's just chilling, we'll be fine. Titanic is re-releasing for the 25th anniversary. Want to go see that?
Honestly, yeah, I do want to see it.
I mean, we're going on Valentine's Day. You're not invited.
Oh. I didn't know I didn't know it was on Valentine's. It came out on Valentine's Day?
Let's see.
If it did.
No, well, it might just be like the 25th anniversary like year, but not like the exact like date. Well, I don't know.
Valentine's Day is always on the 14th.
Okay, but I'm not saying I don't know when Titanic came out originally.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, 25th anniversary Titanic. It's actually showing now already. But it will also be showing on Valentine's Day. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I've ever seen this movie in its entirety. Let's go see it in the theater. You know?
Yeah.
James Cameron, he's hot right now, you know? He's all the buzz, all the rage.
Yeah, because 3. God.
3.
It's 3 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
Okay.
I'm at my limit.
Yeah, you're at your limit for 2 hours already. Movies are getting longer.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna
how many
business.
movies that like came out in the past like year that were like 3 hours long or much longer?
Why can't people stick to 90 minutes?
Dude, I like it. For as long as the movie's good, I like it. But it's like there's Avatar, there's Babylon, there's Black Panther 2. I don't know what else. The Batman. Movies are getting longer. Even animated movies. Animated movies used to be like strictly like an hour,
30 minutes.
Hour and a half, and now like Puss in Boots, nearly 2 hours. Movies are getting longer. This is my kind of like conspiracy or something that I've noticed that I would like to share with the world. This is a Not Just Arin exclusive. Joseph's research into that movies are getting longer.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's all I have right now.
Just that movies are getting longer.
Well, I gave some examples. It's like of like animated movies used to be shorter. Now Puss in Boots is pretty long for an animated movie. A lot of 3 hour movies or close to 3 hour movies came out.
The original couldn't have been
2022.
3 hours.
Which one?
Titanic.
Yeah. It's not like a director's cut, as far as I know. It's just the movie.
That feels.
It's. I didn't know it was 3 hours and 16 minutes, which is a bit long. But yeah, the original. Titanic is known for being a long movie. Have you seen it?
It is?
Yes.
Interesting. The only thing
It's
I know
3
about
hours
it-
and 14 minutes. So maybe this director's cut added 2 minutes. Or, it's James Cameron being like, hey, thanks for coming to the movies for 2 minutes. I didn't know Kathy Bates was in the movie.
Yeah, she's like, she's one of the rich ladies, right?
Sure.
You know who Billy Zane looks like?
Bald.
No. I was going to say Pete Wentz.
Oh.
Kind of. Speaking of which, Fall Out Boy is making their comeback, and I could not be happier.
Cool.
You can't relate at all.
How? Why can't I? I had a Fall Out Boy phase.
I don't think you did. I think you're just
All right,
saying
we're
that. I
we're
think you're
stopping
just saying
we're
things.
stopping the podcast because you don't deserve to actually know about it.
What are you talking about?
Because you're just you're just gatekeeping right out the bat.
I'm not gatekeeping. I
Yes,
think you're
you
just
are.
saying things.
I like
you
to
did
do
before.
that. I like to do that,
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm not doing that.
So you're absolutely serious.
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite song? That isn't Thanks for the Memories or Sugar We're Going Down.
Give me a second.
See, why is it taking so long?
It was a phase. It was years ago. It happened in conjunction with my Panic at the Disco,
See, now you're
21
making things up.
Pilots, and My Chemical Romance phase. It
Now
all
you're
happened
making
at the
things
same
up.
time.
Now I think you're making things.
What? How long have you been recording? Because you don't deserve to know it then.
An hour and 7 minutes.
All right. Well, podcast over.
Well,
Outro.
What? Are you being serious?
I'm being 100% serious.
You had no, because now you're smiling.
Well, now because I think it's goofy. Now I think it'd be goofy to smile. Let's see.
I think you're lying.
Let's see.
I think
Let's
you're lying.
see. Fall Out Boy.
See, now you gotta look it up.
I do.
I have
It
my
was a
number off the
phase.
bat.
I don't have mine off the bat.
Well, you should. Mine's
Let's
Hum
find-
Hallelujah, by the way.
Let's
I was
find my
obsessed with that song.
thumbs. Look, I'm on. Okay. I'm on my Fall Out Boy radio. Extinct. I have 100 thumbs.
100
Thumbs up.
Thumbs. Okay.
That's not what they call them, maybe. Let's see. There's Panic at the Disco. There's Imagine Dragons. There's Fall Out Boy.
There better not be anything in there past 2009.
What? Now you're really gatekeeping.
Yeah, I am.
Oh my god. Let's see.
I'm waiting.
I'm looking. There's 21 Pilots. There's Green Day. There's Switchfoot. Man, that's old. Really. I can't imagine I would thumb that up, honestly. This content is no longer on Pandora. My favorite song by Fall Out Boy.
I'm just waiting for you to name a song.
There's Weezer. There's My Chemical Romance. I'll say here. Wait. Okay. I mean, I really don't like your gatekeeping attitude, but I'll just
No,
say.
because I think you're lying.
I'll just say Save Rock and Roll. I like that song. She rolls her entire body along with her eyes, and she's like, it better not be past 2009. I'm sorry I didn't discover them until after that, Aaron. I didn't discover
either.
them until...
Well, I didn't discover them until, Save Rock and Roll. That album.
Yeah.
When
I don't think I discovered them. What was like their...
But I still listen to their old stuff.
What was
And I
their...
like some tracks from
Centuries. Centuries was my introduction, okay? And that was probably
EFL
your
song.
introduction as
It
well.
was not. My introduction was Dance Dance
Yeah.
from Under the Cork Tree.
And how'd you hear it?
On YouTube, on a Sims 3 machinima.
Mm.
I'm not lying.
That's sick. It's epic. Real gamer stuff.
Yeah.
Real gamer shit.
Yeah.
Real gamer stories by real gamers. By real gamers for real gamers. GameStop,
Exactly.
power to the players, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Let me
Listen,
like what I like.
I was a hardcore Fall Out Boy fan
Okay.
in high school, right? So like I feel I have some authority here.
Yeah, to gatekeep and be a total douchebag about it.
Yes, exactly.
That's not, I mean,
Have you listened to their new single?
No, it was a phase. It was years ago.
Okay.
It was.
Yours was a phase. Mine
It was
is enduring.
okay. That's fine. That's how all my music is.
Yeah.
I had a Childish Gambino phase.
Okay.
Okay.
Name a song.
You haven't listened to Childish Gambino.
That's why I'm laughing.
Okay.
I know a couple songs.
Yeah.
This is America.
Yeah.
Red Bone.
Yep.
Sweatpants.
Yep.
Is that the name of one?
It is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See. Real fan. I can't get over you saying centuries.
That I'm not saying that was my favorite.
Okay, you were just naming one.
Yeah. I was just saying that was probably the first song of theirs I heard.
Yeah, because on the
that
NFL
was
playoffs.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch football. I'm just saying it was
Okay.
on the radio. It was their first song to go viral.
No.
Was it not?
I mean, in the modern era, maybe, but they've had songs to go big before that. I mean,
Okay,
thanks for the
but
memories.
has any of their songs been as
Sugar,
big
We're Going
as
Down?
Centuries?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yes, their entire pre-2009 era, they had a lot of big songs from their. Let me see. From Under the Cork Tree, Infinity on High.
But I'm
They
saying
had a collab with Jay-Z. Okay, Jay-Z.
I'm saying
That's a big deal.
As big, like #1 Billboard charts, whatever.
I don't know about number 1, but they definitely hit number 3 with From Under the Cork Tree. That was their second album, their sophomore album.
I'm talking about songs, not albums.
They probably had. You know what? We're research in progress.
Good. Because I'm not saying those other songs aren't good. I'm not saying they weren't big, but I'm saying that was like, to my knowledge, was like their big mainstream thing. Like, think of 21 Pilots. I don't know if you listen to 21 Pilots, but like
I
think
wish
of
we could turn back time.
all their that was their first big thing.
Yeah, because it's played on the radio a lot.
Exactly, and so was Centuries. You buffoon.
Where's all the chart positions? Okay, this is for the album and not a song, but From Under the Cork Tree debuted and peaked at number 9 on Billboard 200. Sugar We're Going Down reached number 8 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, and this is only from Under the Cork Tree. And let's see, Dance Dance, the album's second single, is also a top 10 hit and was certified 3 times platinum. Let's see. So that's From Under the Cork Tree. And that came out in 2005. So Infinity on High and Ski. All right, so Infinity's first week was a major success and was the band's biggest selling week, selling 260,000 copies to debut at number 1 on the US Billboard 200, and that's the album itself. This charting was first started with the lead single, The Carpal Tunnel of Love, with minor success on the Billboard charts. It doesn't say where it was. Bolstered by the further successful second single, This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race, which reached number 2 on both US and UK charts and top 5 in other countries. Thanks for the Memories peaked at number 12, which is surprising to me because I feel like that's the song that they're most remembered for. Let's see. It found its greatest success in Australia, where it peaked at number 3. Let's see here. And then they had a live album, and then Folie à Deux was their last.
Is that how you're gonna say it for Joker 2? Folie à deux.
I mean, that's how you say it.
Are you sure?
It's French.
I feel like even French would
Okay, maybe I'm
sacre bleu at your pronunciation.
So Folie spent 2 weeks within the top 20 out of its 22 chart weeks. Infinity on High did really good, is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it didn't.
Okay. And I think Centuries only got as popular as it did because it was chosen for the NFL playoffs of whatever year it was chosen for the NFL playoffs.
I'm not saying that that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it's probably their biggest song.
Okay.
Their most mainstream.
I'm consulting Spotify.
Okay.
Because as we know, most people use Spotify.
That's probably a decent metric.
Well, I just looked up Spotify.
Nice.
All right. Number 1. God, you're right. God, I hate that. You're right.
Yeah.
No. It's got 900 million streams on Spotify. followed by Thanks for the Memories, which only has 500. Well, okay. I don't know how they calculate this, but number 1 is 900 million. Number 2 is 500 million. And number 3 is 600 million. So it's not like in order.
Let me see.
Because sometimes I'll notice with like some bands that if they release new music, then a new song will like shoot to the top of their popular list.
How do they order it then? I mean, that's the only one that's out of order as far as we can see. Like maybe it's like how often it gets played, not how many times it's been played.
You might be right. However, I have an application called Spotistats.
Okay.
Where I think I can see.
I mean, the
like
numbers speak for itself already.
I know, but it's like out of order. So I'm trying to see like the more in-depth stuff.
1 out of the 5 was out of order, or I guess 2. 2 were swapped. Already, Centuries has like nearly 1 billion.
Okay, well it says this is their top tracks, and I think it's still okay. No, it isn't.
And you're probably right about the NFL thing, because that just means like there's probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of guys that is now on their like workout playlists or their sports playlists or their like get hype playlists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's from one of their most mid albums though. And it
Who
makes me
cares?
Mad.
It's not about.
I care.
It's not about the quality.
It should be.
Oh my god! Literally, like
American Beauty, American Psycho.
I'm
Who
looking.
Is she? We
I'm
don't
looking
know her.
it as
that is the art pop of Fall Out Boy albums.
I am. Oh man, you're even gatekeeping Lady Gaga now too.
Yeah,
You're like
even
Lady
she doesn't
Gaga.
remember art pop. Okay.
Anyway, I'm looking at this objectively, and you're like, no, that album sucks. There's no way it could be number 1. Clearly, you've never listened to mainstream music, because if it sucks, it's probably going to be number 1.
Well, there's some good songs that were topping charts.
Like Centuries.
Pompeii by Bastille. I unironically like that song.
I do too, but why? See, if you like,
came to my head, okay? Because it's a meme song, right?
It's a meme song.
Yeah.
Is it?
I've seen it on like a few meme song Spotify playlists that have a lot of followers. So
yeah.
Authority.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a meme song though, because it is like a good song.
Yeah.
I like to.
So is Centuries.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
Well, see, I feel like if you listen to like a lot of Bastille, you'd probably gatekeep and say Pompeii is dog shit.
I mean,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, that's not a maybe. That's a certifiable fact. That's one of the laws of the universe.
Okay, what's an artist that has like a really popular song that I don't think it's their best song? I'm asking myself. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so who do I listen to that's like really mainstream? I'm not gonna say Lady Gaga because I don't really listen to her like that.
I thought you were gonna say because she's not mainstream.
No. Why are there only okay. I'm just gonna go through my albums that I have. So let's see.
Also, I'll say something about Pandora is that and I'm not necessarily complaining about this, but I don't know. I don't want you to gatekeep and like view me too harshly because of like how Pandora operates itself. But like Pandora's not great for kind of like discovery. Like it's really going to show you like it's going to play you the big hits and maybe like the stuff just below that, but it's not going to play you like every song from every album. You know what I mean? So there's probably a lot of Fall Out Boy songs I've never heard. You know what I mean? It's like I've just heard
All of Infinity on High.
Maybe. I don't know.
You've probably heard Thanks for the Memory, so
I've heard that, yeah.
And
that's not like obscure.
No.
Like,
but it is from that album.
Yeah.
There are a lot of deep cuts on that album that are really good.
Exactly. I don't think Pandora is good for deep cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that.
I wouldn't consider Bang the Doldrums a deep cut, but that one's really
good. But it makes
basically any of the songs that aren't singles on that album, pretty good. Anyways.
Basically, if other people haven't listened to it, I think it's good.
That's not true. So there's this band called Our Last Night. They're I guess metalcore band, but they also do a lot of covers, and their most popular song on Spotify with 40 million listens is a cover of Astronaut in the Ocean, which sounds however it sounds. But I think let me see, probably their best work. Why is this not in order? Okay, I just scrolled down the singles. I think probably one of their best albums is either Oak Island or We Will All Evolve. People who listen to their covers probably have not heard of them, but real core heads will know about, The Air I Breathe, Deceiver, the song Oak Island off the album Oak Island, Like, they have some actually good music. They just do a lot of covers, I guess, because it makes them money. I have no idea how that works, but that's just what they do. Anyway, speaking of mainstream, I started listening to Beyonce because I was curious about Renaissance. And Slapper, I gotta say, it's a dance album, and it do be hitting. I like it. My favorite songs off of it, I really like I'm That Girl, which goes into Cozy, which goes into Alien Superstar. And then I really like Break My Soul as well. And I like Move. Yeah. Some of them, not some of them, like a couple of tracks are more R&B than dance. But, yeah. I specifically started listening to it because after the Grammys, people were complaining that it won, like, Best Electronic Album. Because apparently they still think it's 2004 and Beyonce only makes R&B and, like, pop. Which I thought was really funny. Because I'd never listened to it, and even I knew that it was an electronic album. Electronic/dance. So I just thought, y'all love to complain. I don't know why. But the girlies were on to something. It's a good album. And that's all I have to say. Speaking of music, what's today?
No, we're done. I'm tired.
Well, hold on.
I'm tired.
Okay, it's only the 9th. So
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Tired of being gatekept.
Exactly.
Well, this has been... You don't have anything else to say?
About what?
I don't know.
I feel like I maybe wanted to show you my thumbs up from my Fall Out Boy radio, but then I think you'll just gatekeep even more. You're going to say they're all trash.
Maybe. It depends.
Yeah, I'm not taking that risk.
Well, let me see. I'm curious.
I'm not taking the risk.
I won't say anything then. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Nah, that's even worse.
Positive. I'm employing the kindergarten rule. If I don't have anything nice to say, I won't say it.
It's not all Fall Out Boy. It's just Fall Out Boy and Fall Out Boy adjacent.
This is Gospel, Hallelujah. I told you to stop Panic at the Disco live when I was in high school, which is good that I did it then because they are no mas.
At all?
Yes.
Really? What happened?
Well, I guess Brendan Urie decided to call it quits because he's the only one in the band. But yeah.
Really?
Panic at the Disco is no mas.
What's he doing now? He's just retired? Or something?
No, he probably has, because they just put out an album.
Oh.
So he's probably just going to do like his solo career, which is what Panic at the Disco has been for a few albums now. So got some Imagine Dragons. The only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide is press coverage. Good one. That's all.
I don't even remember that. I don't remember that song. I don't know what that is, but I give it a thumbs up.
I can't remember if it's on A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Emperor's New Clothes, personally not my favorite from that album. The Antecedents Arms Race, it's okay. Sugar We're Going Down, fine. Miss Jackson, also fine. Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, decent. Imagine Dragons song I never heard of. Dance Dance, goated. They have a Demi Lovato feature? Okay.
Yeah.
21 Pilots, Green Day, 21 Guns, quintessential Green Day song. Never heard of Switchfoot. Let's see.
Never?
No. Victorious. This was the final song that was played at that concert, and I remember like halfway through the song everyone started to leave. Which, including us, which I don't, well, I guess, to get ahead of the traffic, because this was Birmingham, but 4th of July, again, American Beauty, American Psycho. There's an Elton John feature on that one. Save Rock and Roll. No, that's literally Save Rock and Roll. Never mind. Because, yeah. Weezer. Teenagers. Honestly, not the best song from that album. Probably the worst song on that album.
Okay.
But like, it's an album of all bangers, so you know, it's the least bangery of the bangers. I Don't Care, Bopper, Death Valley, literally never heard of it. A John Legend song, Guy Sebastian and Lupe.
Wait, so there's a Fall Out Boy song you haven't heard?
This is from the post 2009 era.
So you just don't like that album at all?
I like Save Rock and Roll, just only a couple songs from it. I haven't listened to it all the way through. So let's see. Lighters featuring Bruno Mars. How to Save a Life. Sometimes, you know, I'll break out into song with that one. Alone Together. This song got me together when I was like an adolescent. Like, I listened to this so much. I felt that in here, you know? It was the sauce. Anyways, the Script. Now, I've never heard of this Script song, but there were a couple of songs from the Script that I really liked in like middle and high school. Secrets by One Republic. Again, another quintessential One Republic song. Tighten Up by the Black Keys. I'm trying to remember, but I can't anyways. Welcome to the Black Parade. Yeah. I can't start thinking about it because then I'm just gonna start singing it. Skyway Avenue by We the Kings. Now I know We the Kings because I recognize this album cover, but I don't know what Skyway Avenue is. Sarah Smiles, probably one of the least, I don't know. Vices and Virtues. It was a fine album, but it was largely forgotten about. Thanks for the Memories. Quintessential Fall Out Boy. Good Life by One Republic. Man, that song also got me together as a youngin'. Yeah. Absolute Story of a Girl. Never heard of this. I Bet My Life by Imagine Dragons.
You've heard Story of a Girl. I'm pretty sure it's like I'm pretty sure it's like, this is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. That song?
I don't know.
You've heard the song?
I'm trying to wait for like the chorus or something because I'm
pretty sure that was the chorus.
Oh. Yeah, it's not ringing any bells. I mean, it sounds like every other song from that time frame, but I don't. Also, we should really stop playing it.
Yeah. I mean, you can cut it out maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Let's see. Tiptoe by Imagine Dragons. Hey There Delilah by the Plain White Tees. Counting Stars. Unironically a really good song.
Oh my god.
Radioactive.
I like how you like gatekeep all this Fall Out Boy, but you're like the most I don't know. I feel like I can gatekeep about like
that are like actually good.
Yeah, so it's like if it's a radio hit of a band you don't like, then it's fine. But if it's a radio hit of a band you do like, then it's trash.
I'm seeing a pattern I like here. One Republic. I'm not a One Republic stan.
Exactly. That's what I just said.
No, you said if it's a radio hit of a band I do like, then
no. Well, okay, if that's what I said, which I don't think it is, I said if it's a radio hit of a band you don't like, then it's good. If it's a radio hit of a band you do like, then it's trash.
I mean, some of these Fall Out Boy songs were radio hits. Like Alone Together and what else? Dance Dance.
Okay,
I heard that on the radio in the Year of Our Lord.
It's not an exact science.
Okay,
but I've cracked your code.
I do really like their cover of Beat It. That was actually really good. Yeah. Dear Maria, Count Me In. Oh my goodness. This song gets me together to this day. If I hear that opening cough, I'm gonna start singing. The opening ahem. Yeah. Let's see. Lonely Boy by the Black Keys. 27 by Fall Out Boy. Legit have never heard that one.
That's funny. So I guess there's songs that... Oh, and it's from Folie D.
Yeah, it is.
And you haven't heard it? Fake fan. You heard it here first, not just Arin exclusive. She actually doesn't like Fall Out Boy that much.
See You Again is on here.
What is this? Oh,
right
really?
There. Yes.
That's funny.
Daylight. For some reason, I really like that song when it was like, you know, doing it.
What about, wait, you skipped over. What about She's My Winona?
I haven't.
Oh, she hasn't heard another Fall Out Boy song that I have, and I like it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Immortals.
Fake fan. I like how this I thought you were just gonna gatekeep it. I'm actually exposing you.
Pompeii by Bastille.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm skipping around.
She's skipping all the Fall Out Boy songs. She doesn't know.
I don't know what this album art is, but that's from Vice's. No, it's not. It's from Pretty Odd. And that's not the album art for it. So
No.
I don't know what that's all about. I'm like a lawyer with the way I always try to get you off. I think that's the full name.
Did you already say a head first slide into whatever?
No.
Oh my God. I love this.
Ugh.
I love that you don't know these songs.
And that's it.
Yeah, she said I'm done. She said I'm done.
Crunchy phone with no
You're
case.
a bigger Fallout Boy fan.
I'm a bigger phone. I am a bigger phone.
I'm a bigger Fallout Boy fan than you. It's okay. I know they're good songs. You
most
don't.
Of their stuff is from, again, their post 2009 era.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
Anyways.
Because your clothes never wear as well the next day and your hair never falls in quite the same way. They quote that in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's a reference to the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's funny. If
Probably.
you know the song. Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
So.
But maybe like subconsciously.
I swear I don't. I've never heard that song before.
That's funny then.
How is it funny?
I don't know, because I thought it was a big hit. I thought a lot of people, a lot of 90s, early 2000s babies have heard it.
So Gen Z.
Yeah. There's younger Gen Z that definitely hasn't heard it.
I don't know.
Older Gen Z.
Okay.
The cooler Gen Z.
Us.
The better Gen Z.
Us.
The superior Gen Z.
Us. Anyway. Now are you done?
Am I done? Am I done making fun of you and exposing you for the fake Fall Out Boy fan you are? No. Yes, I am done. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
I think that's hilarious that there's songs on there that I've heard and like that you haven't.
Because they're from the post 2009 era.
No. When did Folia Do come out? A lot of those that were listed. Oh my God.
It came out in 2009. I'm not lying.
I thought I'm looking this up. You might be right.
It up, but it did come out in 2009, and that's when they broke up after that album came out. But they got back together, and they had a regrettable comeback.
Oh my God! So man, she's like
actually
literally.
No, I take that back. They didn't have a regrettable comeback. Their comeback album, Save Rock and Roll, was fine. They started to fall off in American Beauty, American Psycho. After that, I stopped caring until now.
Oh my God!
Because Love from the Other Side, bop, banger, jam, slam. Wow.
Came out in 2008.
You're lying. Let me see.
Screw you.
Well, they broke up in 2009.
Okay. Still pre-2009. So I guess it's good then. And I guess you haven't heard it. And I guess you're a fake fan. So all these other albums suck? Folia Do, Save Rock and Roll, American Beauty, American Psycho, Mania.
Mania. Oh, God. Mania. Everybody forgot about Mania.
I did too. I think that was what made me stop listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pressed play on the first track of that album. The first like 5 seconds, I was like, you know what?
At least we can agree on that.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a new album, it might be a slapper. They're touring.
It's post 2009 though, so it's probably gonna be trash.
Well, they're having a comeback era.
Are they?
Yes. They're touring with Bring Me the Horizon.
But it's post 2009.
Okay.
It's gonna be bad.
By your logic, it will be bad.
Who by my logic?
Yes,
excuse
you're the one
me.
Pushing this, I'm not.
I'm reiterating and emphasizing your point, sir.
No, I'm saying that they're having a resurgence, which means that era is ending.
Have you heard the songs?
Yes, I've heard the songs.
Okay. Is the album out?
No, it's not out yet.
But there's some songs. Okay, one single.
Love from the Other Side.
And it's a bop. What if that's the only good song?
Well, you know, I've been
resurgence
burned that way
over
before. Exactly,
and post 2009 still stands.
But I think the fact that they're, touring with Bring Me the Horizon, that feels like, that feels promising. I was listening to a Suicide Season this morning on the way to work.
I can't handle all this hypocrisy. I'm not even going to be here for the outro. I'm leaving.
Bro. Wait, who's our sponsor? Yeah, exactly.
Fall Out Boy.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
It's our sponsor.
Whatever. Anyway, I can't believe he's gone. He walked off the set. He's having a diva moment right now. Like he always does. Anyway, this has been the 35th episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms. That is Google, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. That was so out of order. You can follow us on social media at Not Just Aaron Pod. Twitter and Instagram, they exist. You can follow them, and that's cool. I guess, to discuss all things Not Just Aaron, you can use the hashtag NJAPod. Boobity boo, bobbity ba. We're sponsored by Fall Out Boy. Thank you. Wait, it's Fall Out Boy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically post 2009 Fall Out Boy.
Thank you to post 2009 era Fall Out Boy for financially supporting the Not Just Aaron. I can see you in the reflection of the oven.
That's good.
Thank you to post 2009 era of Fall Out Boy for financially contributing. That's not even how I say it. I'm distracted. I need to get a grip. We are sponsored by Post 2009 era Fall Out Boy. Thank you, Post 2009 era Fall Out Boy, for sponsoring the Not Just Aaron podcast. We cannot do it without financial contributions like yours. And Joseph is distracting me in the other room, so I must go.